There we are. In the bottom right side, we got ourselves a red Terran player fighting for the Kaisi Gamers. He is Innovation. In the top left side, we got his opponent for this best of 3. He's the Blue Zerg. He's fighting for Kaisi Gaming as well. He is Solar. Big brain play would be to just go in the same location. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. That would be fun. That is if we do get ourselves in that game number 3, of course. I'm not sure if that's even the map we're playing on. It was Oxide, right? Oxide? We'll have to be patient with that. See what Innovation wants to do. So far, it's just a Reaper expanded. Looks like Solar doing the standard as well. The standard stannies. Would be a bit of a malfunction, I would say, in the AI, right? If he does go for another, like, the exact same rush in the same location. It's a funky SCV placement. That's something you don't see every day. It's perfectly in the center. And it just stayed there for so long as well. Very, very unusual. Sees the base, moves back again. Reaper will take over. Already hiding a drone. Real standard ZVT stuff here. Factory with a reactor coming up on the barracks. Alright. I guess we're also going to see whether or not Innovation has something else to do here. Or doesn't. Going for that second base. No third base just quite yet, so... Well, he does have the 400 minerals right now. Could be the case. Could be the case. 500s. He's gonna make another base, right? First an orbital and then another base. Hellions. Hellions also important. Starports. Alright. Going for the starports. First. And then another base. Just waiting for it. I think it is the best way to open up against Zergs though right now. Just be aggressive. Same for the Protoss openings, right? Just get yourself that that economy as aggressively as possible. As quickly as possible. Just start rolling in the dough. Oh, but instead we're seeing a bit of something else. Hellions with Marauders. Armory on the way. It's going to be a bit of a Hellbat push here. Now, sometimes these work, sometimes they don't. It's a bit of a ladder build, as Artosis likes to call it, which I think is a good description of it. If it gets scouted, it's not ever gonna work here, unfortunately. Where's the armory? Oh, it's in the natural, so that Overlord actually not gonna be able to get anywhere near the scout here. It's not gonna see the not gonna see a Marauder pop out of this barracks either. Sees the tech lab, but that doesn't tell you everything here. Let's see, yeah, he's just still droning away. He's happily droning away. He's making spore crawlers right now. This is going to absolutely blindside him as much as possible. He doesn't have a Baling Nest. He doesn't have a Roach Warren. All he has is, well, how many queens? That is 6 queens. And a good amount of links here as well to try and combat this this enemy force right now. Not that much transfuse energy on these queens either. The links already being barbecued quite rapidly. Spore Crawler trying to get into a good position here so far. You know what? Getting an alright hold. It looks like the Spore Crawler not quite being able to take care of the Manifact though, but the queens are still standing. Reaper gonna get picked off by the links. And I think, slowly but surely, Solo will be able to start holding here. Yes, he will, and What kind of damage did he take? Not much. Not much at all. Very solid hold right there from Solar. Good control with his links. Good control with his queens as well. Keeping the Terran at bay. And that was pretty much the best case scenario there for Innovation, I would say, right? Scouting-wise, Solar had no idea what was coming his way. Up until very, very late. Basically when it was just at his front door. I wonder if Innovation saw that game between a laser and Hero Marine here on this map. And I also wonder if you can do it the same way on the top side as you can do it on the bottom. Apparently there's like a little place where you can abuse the Liberator so heavily, even without the range upgrade. It was, I believe, over here, where you can put it just barely out of range. Even if you have Hydras over here, you won't be able to shoot it. Well, it was over here, to be fair. It's pretty darn nuts. One of those spots where you're like, if you're a Terran yourself, you're like instantly, okay, well, I'm doing that. I'm stealing that for sure. Innovation, is he gonna come in here with a second attempt? Yes, he is. Alright, well, there's Banelings now available. They don't have speed, of course. There's a reasonable bit amount of creep spread. Oh, that is not the best start here for Innovation, but reasonable split nonetheless. Keeping most of those Hellbats still alive, still going, still kicking. More Banelings are coming in, though. One more remains. Oh, that gets all three of them. That was a very good connection there for Solar. Running past the initial one, trying to get as close to all three of them as possible. One is what you got. Three is what you can get. And that's exactly what he did get, so. Solid stuff there from Solar once again. Is that a manual detonation? Yeah, it could very well have been. I think so. I think so. I would not be surprised. There was definitely quite a bit of micro there in that Baneling. Okay. Solar, you know what? After holding that off so well, he's just happily droning away. And he's starting to get his himself into the Lurker tech tree here. What we've been seeing out of Rainer as well, of course, but Solar, in particular, out of the Korean Zerg, seemingly to really enjoy himself the Lurker play. Not been seeing him do that much of the Ling Bane Mutalisk that much anymore in the ZVT matchup. It's mainly going for these units instead. There we go. It lines up nicely, of course. The Hive Tech and the Lurker Den will finish up around the same time. Oh, here's the Widowmine drops coming in as well, though. It's an alright hold there for Solar. Doing a really good job so far. Not losing a single drone there, actually. Oh, that is still one single Widowmine. Will be picked off in time, though. Not going to get anything else done. More Widowmines coming in here. Innovation. It's a bit of a Hail Mary after the first initial pushes to still get some sort of economic damage dealt. This attack on the left side, though, bit more likely to get the damage that he's looking for. Not sure if Solar saw that Medevac flying out. A couple of links already on the way. Looks like he did. Links come in here. Gotta be careful. Those Widowmines, they burrow rather quickly, but, well, not if you don't press the button. Okay. Alright, there's still a Spore Crawler there, so thought the Overseer was flying away, and I was like, no, don't do it. There's still a Widowmine there. But the Spore Crawler also giving vision there, of course. Lurkers on the way. So far, Solar, he's lost 6 workers. 6 workers. That is a ridiculous low number. He went up to 98 workers over here in total. Gotta wonder to myself here a little bit. Was he going purposely above the regular amounts? I know a lot of Zergs love to get themselves the insane amounts of worker numbers these days, so they can really trade out inefficiently. It is part of the style overall, but 97? That is a ton. That is a gazillion right now. More Widowmine harassment. Only getting 2 workers this time around. This drop here with the Marines is getting a lot more though. Bringing Solar down to a casual 80 workers after losing 16 of them. 2 medevacs on the top side looking for a bit of harassment as well. Still, of course, 2 spore crawlers make life very difficult though for those medevacs. Natural base also already fairly well defended. I'm gonna keep the medevac in the dead space for now. Not a bad idea. Right, so how is Innovation prepping for this lurk attack? He knows it's coming. He knows it's on the way. He's making marauders. He's getting himself siege tanks as well. Medevacs also. He's got 3 factories right now. Triple siege tank production. Trash saying he's not familiar with the tournament. It's the Into the Alpha Acts Pro Circuit. We got ourselves well, a good amount of players, and it's just a GSL format style in a group stage. Second group stage, the exact same thing here. Just enjoying the StarCraft II throughout the month of November with this one. Catching a couple of those siege tanks, not too bad. The more of those you manage to kill, the better you're going to be off in the later part of this game, of course. The lurkers can struggle quite a bit against those siege tanks. Marine drop coming back in again. Will they be able to get the +3 melee attack right now? Do target down the Zerglings. The Zerglings with Adrenal Glands. Look at them go. They are so much more lethal as soon as they get that. Attack on the right side as the left side is looking to be making a bit of a coalition as well. Coalition of forces assembled right here. Trying to stop the spreading of the creep. It looks like that is the priority for Innovation so far. Not a place that is easily pushed into here. Solar may be able to try, of course, but it's going to take quite a couple of losses. Maybe opening up the rest of the map here for Innovation a bit too much. Start doing counter-aggression as well. Another attack immediately being met by the movements of these Zerglings. Oh my god, did he not notice? I don't think he noticed. Alright, well now he should notice, of course. Luckily he was already close by, so we'll be able to jump on top of this very quickly. Hydras. There's only 2 of them here. It's difficult to really deal with these medevacs, of course, without any real anti-air presence. And burrowed there just before the shot of the lurkers could hit that siege tank, the final shot it needed to. Circling, setting up shop. Is getting a full surround going here. There's a couple of ghosts also in the mix, but let's wait and see how this will unfold itself. Could be a massive surround coming in here. There it is. Innovation in a bit of trouble. Is he though? Is he really? I don't know. That's an alright exchange there for him. Single Swarmhost. That is a mistake. It's the second single Swarmhost we've seen here from Solar today. May want to consider switching up the hotkey for that one. That's a good hold there for Innovation, managing to take on a attack coming in from 3 different angles there. Great target fire with those siege tanks. The Ghost as well helping out a ton, but the reinforcements here for Solar so much quicker for the Zerg, of course. So Innovation overstaying his welcome. It's not going to be allowed to keep this mining base, well, get that mining base right there. With the rich Vespian guys and the lurkers here on the left side, overstaying their welcome perhaps as well a little bit. Good amount of Marauder firepower there with siege tanks on the back side of things. We'll be able to shut that down for a little bit up until the moment when the Zerglings and the Banelings come in. This is not looking all that great for Innovation anymore. His army supply has been dwindling, and it's been dwindling hard. Solar not giving him a moment's rest anymore here. Gonna try to get himself on top of this planetary fortress. The planetary fortress, no repair in time either. That is a nasty situation now for Innovation. Trying to get the EMPs going, but on top of the Vipers, not really gonna be all he needs to do here. He's losing a lot of these SCVs as well. That is a very uncharacteristic mistake here for Innovation. Losing so much stuff right now. This base gonna have to fly over. We have Corruptus on the way here for Solar. Solar is playing a dream game right now. Really doing a bang-up job so far with all of his harassments. Those attacks on the siege tanks continuously. Because remember that this game started off with the initial Hellbat attack with the Marauders not doing anything. Even though they came in completely unscouted. Did not work whatsoever. Innovation, he has two choices. He can try to really already go across the field here. Or he can try to just stay on a lower work account. Try to get himself to 200 supply. Trade as efficiently as possible. Perhaps if Solar tries too much to keep pushing into this location, trade inefficiently, maybe Innovation is going to have a moment where he will be able to steamroll with just a superior army supply. Alright, you know what? Looking okay here for Innovation, right? Does have a lot of siege tanks here, but the Blinding Clouds, they absolutely tear this apart. The Banelings, they do alright against Ghost as well. And there it is. Okay, GG is called. Thought the choke point in that perhaps may have been enough, but Innovation not being able to carry himself through. Oh, we were not doing that right now, guys. We were not doing that right now. Well played that by Mr. Solar, getting himself the first point on the board here versus Innovation. Innovation not having his real lucky day today. What's up, Rushy? How you doing, buddy? How are we feeling today? How's things going over there in the good old US of A? Read some news that, you know, some weird stuff happening, some turmoil in the air, of course. I think it's that Solar's gameplay has been increasing of late. Yeah, he's been getting better as well again, right? This is the thing. I think Solar is a bit comparable to Zest in a way, but then he's a Zerg. You know, sometimes he's just like up there in the upper atmosphere, and it's like, okay, could he become the best Zerg that is available right now in the Korean scene? Could he be? I mean, it's looking close. He's taking on all the best players from the other races. He's doing very well, and then suddenly he just drops off again, right? He starts losing games against players where normally you wouldn't think a top player would ever really lose in those situations. So online Solar always very strong. Well, I mean, I don't know. He's pretty darn strong, that's for sure. But even online, sometimes he just falters a little bit, right? Where you're just like, all right, well, that was not really what I was anticipating there. Alright. Game number 2. Let's see if Innovation will be able to bring it back. It's a map that some bad memories were happening on the previous time. Alright, here we go. Some bad voodoo. But then, to be fair, Innovation won the first game in the previous series. Let's see how he does over here. In the top left side, the Red Terran. Fighting for Kaisi Gamers. He is Innovation. A little bit of censor there. In the bottom right side, we got ourselves a blue Zerg. He is fighting for Kaisi Gamers as well. He is Solar. When is Bjorn playing? Bjorn actually was playing yesterday, I want to say. Bjorn was playing yesterday. Is Bjorn in this tournament, actually? Did we see him already? Oh, yeah. He was in Group A. Fortunately, it really didn't go his way there. Dongregu and Dark were also in that group, and they were a bit too strong. Okay, but the real question, when is Cyril playing? When is Rainer playing? When are we gonna see Clem? And where is Dark? Maru? Or all of these places? We need to have them. We need to have them in these tournaments. All playing together. Just put them all together in a free-for-all and then see what happens in that sense. MVP. Where is MVP? What happened to him? Has he become an accountant? A janitor? The president of Korea? We don't know. We don't know. Alright. Rainer and Cyril. Yeah, what two lads, huh? I mean, the games between them always get so close overall. And... Huh. Alright. Just scouting around here. Going for the third base on the forward location. I mean, I think getting that forward base location, there's a couple of things that benefit from this, right? I personally like it when Zergs do it. Very common that I myself take this one as a Zerg player, but if you think about it, right, this, sure, you're expanding towards your opponents, but you're gonna have to move that way overall at some point anyway. It's a little bit easier to get this place already secured in the earlier pods. You're gonna get yourself more creep spread going towards your opponent also, so you get more of a buffer area towards that location. And this base, it's going to be an easier place to hold on to at a later point in time. Innovation, does he know about this third base? I don't think he does, so maybe he's anticipating something entirely different here coming his way, but he's still going for a third command center, still going for the 1-1-1. He may start to make a couple of benchies though, right? Not necessarily with Cloak, but just as a safety precaution here. Wouldn't be surprised. No, going for the Viking. Alright. Well, back to this base idea then. So, another reason why I would like to, I like to see Zergs grabbing this base is because it's a very open area. So, if you like to go for a lot of Ling Bane heavy style, this is an area where you would like to fight. This is a fantastic area for you to fight at. So easy to get surrounds going from this side. If you have to, you can go around over here as well even. So many ways to rotate. Just a couple of tiny pillars here that are not destructible. The rest of it you can open up and make it a fantastic playground for your Zerg boys. Okay, Innovation is trying to deny the spreading of creep here and the opening up of this area. That's doing pretty well with it so far. Moving a bit forward with these Hellions. Gotta be careful not to commit too far onto creep. Circlings are, of course, already available. Getting some good shots of them. Oh my dear lord, those drones. Two of them so far do go down. We need to see a bit of a split here from Solar. Don't stack them up, Solar. Don't you dare stack those drones up. 9 of them go down in total. 10. That's where it ends though. 10 work is not too bad for Innovation. I guess that's the downside, having those Hellions also having a lot of playground to move around with. Yeah, 10 workers. That was a quite a good bit of damage right there. Solar definitely stacking up his workers a bit too much, perhaps. Taking more damage than he would have liked to. I think it is also one of these things when we see these Hellions being able to take out so many workers. One thing that I always kind of overlook or not really point towards is that it's very impressive for these it's very impressive by these Terran players, really, to identify the stacking of the drones, right-clicking on the right place, knowing exactly how the trajectory kind of lines up for the Hellions. it may already be becoming a second nature for a lot of these Terrans, but still, I'm quite impressed with it. We're in a golden age right now, where we have Serral, Raynor, and Clem. That's true, that's true. Playing the games yesterday, and I was very impressed. My friends always tell me SC2 is dead, but how is this game dead when the competition is very well and alive and strong? It's because it's not as big as League or something like that, right? And then people assume that it is, but it's, yeah, it's a weird saying. It's a weird saying. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. A lot of Zerglings there going for the... Ooh, that connection right there. Good bit of damage here for Solar. Innovation donating a tank or two with a good clump of Marines as well. The creep spread doesn't seem like it really was slowed down by much here either, does it? Opening up even more of this area here. More rocks are gonna get nibbled upon. Let's try to open up these mineral patches as well. Not a bad idea. Innovation, he needs to start making some plays here, of course. He's on his final legs. He can't afford to lose another one. That will be the end of him. Drop play. It's a risky one, but if these Marines here in the medevac's get a ton of damage dealt, that could be fantastic. Solar doesn't look like he did notice this coming in. He's paying his attention on the front side right now. Looking to try and deal damage to the whatever is coming in. Oh my god, is he going to lose the layer here? Yes, he is. That is a dead layer attack right now. Still can make the lurker den, and fortunately for him, we'll be able to start that up because he still has the Hydra den. But that's a quite nice bit of damage right there from that drop, and gets most of his Marines out of there as well. This is why you may want to consider putting a couple more Overlords on the bottom side. Another drop on the top. Just fighting off the creep. Look at how far this creep is, guys. This is 9 minutes in the game, and look at how far Solar has been able to push this creep right now. Very impressive. This is also because he did get his third base in this location right there. He's allowed to push creep so far towards the top side. But not only that, I mean, it's going to the left side as well. Innovation has been trying to mitigate the amount of creep that's allowed to be spread here. Zergling still available for the defense. Very smart play from Solar, staying in this location here. A lot of cool stuff. I don't see this map very often being split up into two parts where you have a vertical split of units here, but that is what we're seeing. The vertical split of the bases going to be made here. Innovation coming back around though. Gonna find more of those drones perhaps. The hatchery won't go down, but that extractor most certainly won't. Okay, no, it's gonna stay alive as well. Never mind, my bad. More Marines coming in on this side. There we go, there we go. More workers going down. These Marines in the main base also still quite a hefty threat, as Innovation is trying to push on three sides. He is definitely finding some more fortune with some of these places than the other ones. Oh my god, he's cleaning up bases. He's cleaning up worker lines right now. Solar is being pulled apart. He does not have those Mutalisk, and he is feeling the sting of not having Mutalisk right now. Innovation punishing this rather heavily. The Hydralisks come in here, need to take care of the tanks. Do manage to take out most of them, which ain't that bad of a deal either, but of course he is still in trouble with his economy right now. He's been taking quite a couple of decisive blows to the frontal face part of his economy. This Innovation is just still multitasking absolutely everywhere. 3 medevacs more coming in. three siege tanks here. Oh, make that 5. And see, just mostly siege tank pushes a lot of the time, but they will do alright against those lurkers, of course. The lurkers, their upgrades got delayed an enormous amount, actually. Remember that layer kill that we saw earlier on? Yeah, remember how that is supposed to be a hive as soon as that lurker den finishes up? Right, well, I mean, it's still not quite ready yet. An enormous delay. Oh, another base in a bit of trouble. I thought there were Zerglings a little bit closer here, but yeah, that's another time that base is going to fall. On the bottom left side, Innovation trying to come in here as well. It's a reasonable cleanup this time around. We'll keep that base afloat. Innovation not allowed to push any further here, though, with those lurkers in the neighborhood. Blocking his own hatchery, though, unfortunately. Yeah, Solar, I mean, he's staying alive, but Innovation's taking the entire map. On the other side, he's managing to just keep Solar absolutely torn here. I mean, at some point, I think he just needs to be like, alright, well, screw it. I know I'm going Linkbane Hydra into Lurkers, but I need a Spire here. I need to get myself some Mutalisks, some Corruptors, anything to hold this off. This base in the 6 o'clock, probably the most important base right now. To the bottom left side, also a very important base for Innovation. Solar looks like he's finally going to be able to get a bit of a yin-yang going on here. Tit for tat, the lurkers coming in to try and deal with the door. This base again, though, will be punished rather heavily. Hydras, please. Please, Hydras, get those medevacs. Not gonna get them this time around either. Solar doesn't even know about this base here in the bottom left either. So that is definitely a problem. Innovation for sure has too many workers. I don't know. It's funny how Innovation is playing this actually kind of like a Zerg player. Just denying bases, taking the entire map behind this, having an economy of 94 workers. It's quite funny to see. It's quite funny to see indeed. His overall trading, actually, it's not too bad either. Going favorably into his way here. Liberator harassment, that is always rather annoying. There's a Spore Crawler here, unfortunately on the wrong side of town. Let's finally get picked off. This Innovation here makes his way over to another location. There's no base there just quite yet, but cleaning up the creep always a good thing. Somebody has to do it. This could just bring him in between these two big parts of Mr. Solar's army. Okay, well, does manage to safeguard it for now. I keep going back to there thinking it's a drop, but some snipes going down as well. The scan making the hatway. More Zerglings and Banelings trying to come in. And yeah, Solar's just not getting these trades sufficiently. Oh my god, where is this coming from? Ah, where'd they go? I missed it. We caught some smoke there, but that's about it. Those creep tumors, say goodbye. Hope you've written a letter for your mother. They're gone. Alright, here we are. More of this attack coming in here. Let's get cleaned up again. Solar, he's hanging on here, right? He's starting to kind of stem the bleeding. He's been able to keep his bases afloat a bit better now. He's getting more aggression across the field as well. He's finally in a position where he doesn't feel ridiculous for trying to come in here. Those snipes on the Lurkers, though, they are pretty darn tasty. Banelings need to get on top of the Ghost, not quite being able to do so. And the base survives as well, so that is not really in Solar's favor either. You know, was throwing away some units there, but I mean, Solar right now as well. Not finding a lot of fortune there. Innovation still trading out efficiently, or at least more efficiently than Solar. They own the same amount of bases as well. I think it's looking a little bit easier for Innovation to make the next expansions happen than it would be for Solar. Solar's next expansion is going to be over here, which is very close to Innovation. Innovation is going to have a shorter distance to push. It's going to benefit him overall. Circling counter-aggression here, trying to get rid of the bases. Oh, the top right base, that's a fresh base that is now also being targeted down. Solar trying to get some retaliation going on here, getting on top of the production facilities. Is he going to get all these ghosts? Yes, he should be able to. That's a lot of gas going down there for Innovation. That's an enormous amount of stuff. Most of his army in the top right side, it feels like. Still a couple of siege tanks there as well. He's spread out relatively thin. It's a lot of orbitals though. He doesn't mind losing miners here. He will be able to replenish them with those mules. It's kind of good actually to lose those miners, but losing the bases, that is the problem here. Losing the ghost, that is also a problem, of course, still. Can't mine gas with mules. Let's take a look at the units lost tab now. Yeah, that is not something you see all the time, right? This amount of gas lost by a Terran player here. Not a common sight. Used to be the other way around, where Terrans just always had too much gas. I guess that's still kind of the case here, but it's fun how things mix up now and again in StarCraft. Ghosts? I hear ghosts. I can't... Oh, there they are. On the top side. I thought I heard them on the bottom for some reason. No, apparently I have my my headphones on upside down. Hey, Zerglings here, finally finding out that there is a base here, in fact. Banelings need to get the connections onto the SCVs. There we go, another base will be shut down for Inno. Both these corner bases now outside of control for both these players. This would be a crazy base to try and take though for Solar. The top right side still needs to be reclaimed as well. Could be a little bit of an opportunity right now, of course, as he's keeping Innovation quite busy on this left side. And still, look at this creep spread here, by the way, guys. This is some pretty darn crazy creep spread going on. Alright, Liberators, Ghosts, Siege Tanks, the whole shebang here, trying to deal with those Lurkers. But there's no Lurkers here. It's mainly just Zerglings and Banelings together with a bunch of Vipers as well. Not even Hydralisk part of this composition right now. The Lurkers, where are they? They are on the left side. Gonna try to deal with the Planetary Fortress. Decide to get out of dodge right now. On the top side, we have another engagement here. The Banelings. Let's see what they will be able to do. Getting some good connections. Yeah, that is another nice cleanup here for Solar. Solar. Was that a winning blow here for him in this situation? That was most of the anti-lurk attack there from Innovation running into just, well, mostly Banelings. And that is not the way you want those ghosts to trade. Innovation, he now has to deal with all these lurkers without having his anti-lurk attack available anymore. That's a bit more available on the bottom left of his natural, but that is gonna get very, very much overwhelmed, it looks like. We have got Innovation in a pinch. Solar here, getting closer and closer to the production. Will he be able to go all the way here? Does not look like that is the case. He's gonna back up a bit more. Losing all those lurkers, not the greatest thing either, of course, for Solar here. Innovation holds on for now. Still has a healthy army supply, still has a healthy economy as well. I mean, 61 workers, absolutely perfectly fine with 8 orbital command centers behind this as well. wants to reclaim this base, though. There's so much creep spread going on, but... Man, this is going back and forth continuously. Innovation, this base and this base. Those are the two bases right now. They are the most important ones. If he manages to claim those, ultimately, I think they should go into his favor. Maybe even just one of them can potentially be enough here, but there's another massive wave of Baneling Zerglings coming in from every which angle. The Lurkers behind it as well. And just as we see that base trying to be taken here, even off-center there a little bit. Innovation having a lot of struggles going on here. That is getting killed off as well. No cancel on that base. It's going to have to fly something over there to try and reclaim this. Still a close game, guys. This is still quite a close game. Still going strong here. I mean, a couple of missteps from either of these players, and that could just tilt the game into the other player's favor. Do we have a Great Aspire as well right now? No, we don't. We do have the regular Spire, though, so that finally did come in here. Not because of the drops going absolutely mental on all the bases, but the Liberators, that is the reason now why we do have the Corruptors on the field. It's quite a lot of upgrades still to be achieved with this. Solar gonna start taking the bottom left side as well. We'll claim that for his own. Difficult place for Innovation really to try and contest. The high ground here up top is a nice place for him to bunker up though, right? A good place for him to micro back towards, and a tough place for the Zerg to push into. Unless if he's not on top of his perch right there. Lurkers jumping forward together with the Zerglings. Everything coming in at once. Solar, does he have enough this time around? I don't know if he does. He's again... Oh, some Baneling hits there on the top right. Doesn't look like it will be enough here for Solar, right? Once again, just barely holding on. Perhaps, is he? Oh, where's the reinforcements? There's a lot of army supplies still for Innovation here. A bit more, though, for Solar. Thought with mostly Corruptors hanging around here, perhaps the ground forces would be enough to hold the door, but I don't think it will be ultimately anymore. Those Zerglings, they are too numerous. No siege tanks, no Widow Mines, nothing in between anymore. GG is called. Solar